Welcome back to Brad Pitt Career Mode on F1 25. Today we're back for episode number 23, our second to last race of the season in Qatar. So we are currently 43 points off of Verstappen for the championship lead. There is a sprint race this weekend in Qatar, so opportunity for more points, but it's, I don't know. We're going to need Verstappen to DNF. So I think this is the last race of the season that will have some upgrades. Other than that, we're focusing all our development on next year's car. Yeah, so I want to do these upgrades, obviously. I mean, they're researched and ready to go, but it's just not worth putting these on when we can develop parts that we already had on the car and keep them on for next year. It's a lot cheaper to do this as well, so we'll save a little bit of money and have a slightly better car for next season. All right, well, that's pretty much the most we can do. Oh, we got this bug again. So we have upgrades, just vague, ambiguous upgrades. So I'm not gonna lie here. This track, in my opinion, is kind of similar to Brazil. It's a lot of, you know, kind of medium speed, rounded corners, just like that one. And the car did not perform that well in Brazil. We didn't really have the pace to pull away like we did in Vegas, so I don't know how this is going to go. We are definitely going to need maximum points here, though. I mean, we've got the sprint race, so hopefully we can win the sprint race, win the full race as well, and we're going to need Verstappen to DNF on the full race, or at least finish outside the points, because I think if he finishes on the podium this race, it's pretty much over. I do think there's a chance that if we... Oh! That's not a great start to the weekend. All right, well, into sprint qualifying here, so we only get one lap on the medium, so we got to make this one count, but we should get through to Q3 without any issues. Our first and only lap in sprint qualifying 1 is going to be a 121.3. Fastest in the session. Didn't expect that. Here we go, our lap in Q2. Purple in Sector 1. And we go fastest yet again. 2/10 faster than our time in Q1. Okay, on the softs now. Hopefully we get a good result. Starting from pole in the sprint would be absolutely huge. All right, one corner to go here, and then we're on the start-finish straight. Here we go, pedal to the floor. There's no, we got no purple sectors on this lap, so it's probably not going to be first, and it's third place in Q3 for the sprint. I don't know about this. I mean, the rest of the field is starting on the softs. I guess we'll do it too. But we've been having a lot of problems with tire degradation recently, and especially around a track like this, these might just completely fall off a cliff by the last couple laps. But we'll try it out. We'll see how it goes. Here we are, third on the grid, fighting both the Red Bulls into turn 1. 5 red lights are coming on, and we are racing around Qatar. Pretty good start off the line, already side by side with Yuki Tsunoda. We might be close enough to go for a move on Verstappen into turn 1. Just a little bit too far back to make that one stick, but at least we get ahead of Tsunoda. So we just have to catch this guy as soon as possible. The two Red Bulls are the two fastest cars on the grid at the moment, and Verstappen has definitely had the pace in the last couple races, so this might be a little difficult. We might be close enough here if we gain a little bit of time through this final corner. On to lap 2. We won't have DRS on this straight because the line is before the finish line here, but with enough battery and in the slipstream, we're reeling in. Verstappen gonna switch to the inside, and into turn 1 we go in first place. Verstappen still kind of clinging to the outside. We can just squeeze him out, and now we gotta try to build this gap. I have a feeling we might be trading places a lot over the course of this sprint race here. I mean, Verstappen's gonna have, there's only one DRS zone, and it's on the start-finish straight. Verstappen will have DRS right now, the first lap that it's enabled, and across the line we go. So Verstappen is gonna have the overspeed on us. He's switching to the inside well before we get to the braking zone. We can try to cling to the slipstream on the Red Bull, but it's not gonna be close enough to make a move stick right there. Oh boy, this is going to be a big fight. The positive here is that we, at least at the moment, have the pace to keep up with Verstappen, but our tires are definitely going to start to fall off in, I would guess, 3 or 4 laps time. And I think at that point we need to be well ahead of the Red Bull. Here we go, it's our turn with the DRS. Verstappen's got a pretty good exit out of that final corner, but we've got the slipstream, the battery, and the DRS to help us reel him in. And here we go, gonna switch back to the outside on the Red Bull, and up into first place we go, comfortably through turn 1. So this seems like, unless we can break away here, it's going to be a lot of battling into turn 1. There aren't really many overtaking zones besides turn 1, so luckily for the rest of the lap we can keep him behind, but he's sticking very close to us. I don't really know if we can get away from him. Well, Verstappen will have DRS on the straight, so I'm sure we're going to switch places yet again into turn 1, really having a tough time losing this guy through the middle of the track, but here we are onto the straight. Verstappen has DRS enabled now in the slipstream of us. I assume he's going to go for a move around the outside, and there he goes. We're going to be close enough to fight back into turn 1. On the inside, Verstappen still clinging to the outside, so we're side by side into turn 2. We've got the outside line. Verstappen brake checks us. We got a little bit of contact. Luckily, no damage. Jamming the battery. Going to try to go for a bold move on the inside and back into first place. Oh my God! This is.
No need to worry about the tire condition for now.
All right,
Everything's looking good.
I know. We're 5 laps in. You don't need to tell me that. Just shut up,
Copy.
dude. Jeez. I think if we have enough of a gap on the straight, okay, bad exit. We're not going to have any gap on the straight now. We've got the battery going. Verstappen's right behind us in the slipstream. DRS enabled. He's switching to the outside. We might be close enough to go for a move into turn 1. Verstappen's still on the outside. Yet again, we're side by side through the first couple of corners. We can traction our way out of turn 2. Oh boy, this is getting intense. We're gonna see another move from the Red Bull here onto lap 8, so just a handful of laps remaining. Verstappen gaining on us into turn 1. Around the outside he goes yet again, and we can fight this on the inside line. We're still side by side, lap after lap, switching to the inside for the next corner. We hit the brakes a little bit too early there. Verstappen got a nice run through that corner, and we're not gonna be close enough for a move into this double right-hander. That is definitely not good. Oh boy, okay. We are already struggling for pace a little bit. I can guarantee you his tires are in much better condition than ours. We really need to focus on tire wear upgrades for next season. Come on, we barely have any battery left. We will have DRS on the straight, but Verstappen is 8/10 up the road. I don't think we're going to be even close enough to think about a move into turn 1 this time around. We've got one more lap to go for a move into that corner, and that's if not, then that's going to be it. Yeah, with the state of these tires, it's not very easy to gain any time on Max up ahead. This is, oh God, really looking a little bleak here. We're like barely clinging on to track limits here. On to the final lap, and I think that is all she wrote for the sprint race. We have DRS, but we're pretty much out of batteries. Tsunoda's gaining on us more than we're gaining on Verstappen. So unless we see a mistake from Supermax, I think this is over. Yeah, 64% on the front left. That is really difficult to deal with. I'm almost wondering if the race is going to be a 2-stop. That's a lot of tire wear in 10 laps. Well, just one corner to go. After we get through this one, we do have Tsunoda right on our tail, so we gotta make sure we get a good exit out of here. Gonna dump the battery up to the line, switch to the inside, and break the slipstream, and we will take second place in the sprint. But in doing so, we lose a point to Verstappen, which is definitely not good. Oh boy, well, into qualifying we go. That was definitely a disappointing result on the sprint. But realistically, I mean, we only lost 1 point. We needed Verstappen to not even get any points there. Oh, this might be an issue. Oh, get out of the way. Okay, come on. All right, well, that's annoying. Well, we almost got sabotaged by Lewis Hamilton, but up to the line, and it's a 121.9, so quite slow. I do think we can just go ahead and skip to Q2, though. We should be completely safe. All right, into Q2. I was just thinking, I do think we have the qualifying pace around here. Race pace is a whole different story with tire wear and all that, but if we can put together a nice lap, we should be potentially on for pole. All right, first lap in Q2 is a 121.2. Fastest in the session. Looks like the second lap is going to be even better. Purple in Sector 1. We're 8/10 up on our last time, and it looks like a 120.6. Definitely first in the session. That's not too bad. Well, we're still going to need to piece together a really, really solid lap. But I think the theory that we've got some good qualifying pace around here might have just been proven true. Perhaps. Oh yeah, that's wide. Oh god. Oh, okay. All right. Shit. Okay. Well, we've got 1 lap. That's a big choke right there. I mean, that was the old set of tires, so I guess it's fine. But we've got 1 lap now. Okay, well, looks like we're coming out in clear air, which is perfect. But that last mistake means we have no delta time on this lap. So we have no idea if it's going to be good or not. All we have to judge is the sectors, so hopefully we set some purple ones. But this is for all the marbles. I'm going to fully lock in here. Okay, here we go, onto the straight. Purple in the first 2 sectors, so we're flying on this lap across the line. I didn't see what time it was, but that's pole position for the full race in Qatar. Exactly what we needed. That was perfect. Bro, 7/10 is the gap to Verstappen. What a lap. That might be the best lap we've done all year. Genuinely, that is a huge margin. What's funny, Verstappen set a 120.4 for the sprint qualifying. So he just wasn't on the mark, I guess. All right, well, I guess we're committing to the 1 stop, mediums to hards. That might be a little bit sketchy by the end with tire wear, but we've got a huge confidence boost out of qualifying. That was a crazy lap. These guys are definitely impressed. Look at them. All right, starting from pole position, Verstappen right behind us. Gonna be a battle into turn 1. 5 red lights are coming on, and we are racing for 29 laps around Qatar. Pretty good start off the line here. Verstappen right on our tail into turn 1. I think we've got enough space to keep the lead around the first corner. A little bit wide through there, but luckily we can keep Verstappen behind for now. And hopefully these guys behind us start the fight, because we need a big gap to this Red Bull. I noticed in the sprint race there weren't too many people like overtaking it. I think there's just the nature of this track. There's only really 2 corners where you can go for overtakes. One is turn 1 after the DRS zone, and then there's that little hairpin. But I don't know. I mean, I think this might just be a battle with Verstappen yet again. Heading on to lap 3 now. So this is the first lap that Verstappen can use DRS on the straight, and I'm sure he's going to do it. He's in the slipstream now. He's going to switch to the outside and beat us to the braking zone at turn 1, but we're close enough to go for a move on Verstappen. It's a safety car, a virtual safety car, as soon as we pass the Red Bull. What? That is that is insane timing. Dude, I'm shocked. That was like the split second we passed Verstappen, the virtual safety car came out. What is that? I have to say I hate the VSC because it's so hard to keep the delta in check on the restarts. Speaking of the restart, virtual safety car ending. We're staying in the green. We don't want any kind of penalty. There we go. We can dump the battery, pedal to the floor, and Verstappen is still right on our tail. I'm sure we're going to see another move from the Red Bull into turn 1 here. Well, Verstappen has DRS now, so I'm sure we'll see something probably around the outside into turn 1. We're defending the middle of the track. There goes the Red Bull into the first corner of lap 5. We're still side by side into turn 2. We've got the outside line, and we've learned our lesson from the sprint race, braking way later to keep first place there. I think this is going to be just like the sprint race, just a never-ending battle into turn 1. Verstappen's going to go for a move on the outside here. We should be close enough to fight it. Through the corner, up into first place. Verstappen's still clinging to the outside, and we can just muscle him out right there. I'm having a really tough time just trying to increase the gap to Verstappen. I mean, obviously he's in the faster car, but I don't think we have the pace to really break away unless he starts fighting with Tsunoda. I'm thinking we're gonna see another move into turn 1 from Verstappen here. He's pretty close to us on corner exit here. Again, he'll have the DRS. We're going to try to make it as awkward as possible for the Red Bull, defending kind of the left third of the track. He's taking the outside line, and we can cover him off into turn 1. He's sticking to us around the outside. We're going to take the outside line for the next corner, and again, we can just out-traction Verstappen on corner exit through turn 2. I think the outside line in turn 2 is definitely the way to go. In the sprint race, Verstappen had the outside. He had the opportunity to close the door on us, which I don't want that to happen again. So we're going to stick to the outside in turn 2 if we go side by side again, which we might right here. Verstappen on the outside yet again into turn 1. Just battling with this Red Bull over and over, lap after lap. And luckily, we pull ahead before the next corner. He's definitely still sticking with us into this double right here. I'm trying to conserve the battery as much as possible. We saw what happened in the sprint race. We ran out of battery at the end of the race and pretty much had no hope. So we really need to manage this here. Oh God, we got a little red little indicator where the tire wear is. I'm gonna check and see. Okay, 62% on the front left. That is not good. We still have a couple laps until we pit, so we're going to have to deal with this tire wear for right now. But at the moment, we have Verstappen in the slipstream, switching to the outside before we get to turn 1. He's ahead by the braking zone, and we can fight back. We're still side by side through the exit of turn 1 into turn 2. We've got the outside line, and again, we can just traction out the Red Bull and pull back into first place. Still sticking close to us into the double right here, but luckily not much of an overtaking zone. This is getting a little close for comfort. Verstappen's been on our tail for laps and laps now. 71% tire wear on the front left, and we're seeing another move from the Red Bull into turn 1. We can cover it up for now, but we don't have much time here. Well, we've gotten called in this lap. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to be switching onto the hards. I'm hoping Verstappen comes in as well, because I don't want him to overcut us, because I'm sure he's got a lot better tire wear on the Red Bull. So as long as Verstappen comes in, which he is, we should be good. We got Verstappen and George Russell behind us in the pit lane. Okay, on to the hard compound tires. Let's see what the Brad Pitt crew can do for us this time. It's a slow stop on the rear right, so 2 slow stops in a row. It won't let me out of the pit lane. We get passed by Verstappen and Russell. That's 2 races in a row where the Brad Pitt crew has just absolutely fumbled. They're falling back to their old ways, dude. That is just ridiculous. We cannot let Verstappen take advantage of this. We need to get past Russell as soon as possible. Maybe up the inside right here. A little too far back. Here we go into the hairpin. We can get the Mercedes. So up into 7th place at the moment. Verstappen 1.5 seconds up the road, which is definitely not good. Luckily, we do have some fresh tires. We should be able to catch up. Well, we've been absolutely destroying the battery to catch up with Verstappen, but it's been working. We knocked off 5/10 on the back end of that lap, 2 purple sectors. So that's exactly what we needed. We got Tsunoda coming out of the pit lane. He's slowing up his teammate. This is exactly what we needed. I think we're gonna have to go for something a little ambitious into the hairpin. Gonna dive up the inside from a little far back. Tsunoda locked up side by side with Verstappen now. Gonna dump the battery on exit. We're drag racing to the next corner, and we can close the door on Verstappen. So up in his second place, only Tsunoda ahead. We might be close enough to go for a move into turn 1 here. Need a good exit out of this final corner. Onto the straight we go. Oh, come on, dude. We're out of battery. We got the DRS enabled. The slipstream is helping us as well. Down the inside we go. On Tsunoda, we're running a little bit deep. Tsunoda's going to switch up and under, passing us into turn 2. We've got the inside line. Trying to close the door on the Red Bull, but still side by side. Drag racing to the next corner. Battery enabled what little we have left. And now we can finally close the door on Tsunoda. Oh my god, this is insane. Okay, well, I see good news and bad news with this. The good news is that Tsunoda should be slower than Verstappen. So just pace-wise, he should slow up Max, and we can use that as an opportunity to run away a little bit and build this gap. But the bad news is that if Verstappen finishes third, he's taking home the championship trophy this race. And there's not much we can do about that. There we go. Tsunoda out of DRS range now. So we just gotta keep this gap by the time we get to the last corner here. We've got plenty of battery to play with as well. So that should be fine. Max is only gonna let his teammate hold him back so much. At some point he's gonna pass him and he's gonna come straight for the win. So as long as we can build a big enough gap and keep up a good pace, we should be on track to win. Yeah, there he is. Verstappen in second place with the fastest lap as well, which is not much of a surprise. So I don't know what his pace is going to look like. Hopefully, we can continue holding this gap, keep him out of DRS, and at least take a win here. Okay, well, 2-second gap to Verstappen behind us. So that's another little layer of comfort there. The hards are hanging on a lot better than I expected. I'm not really sliding around the track like I thought I was going to be at this stage, so it's pretty much smooth sailing from here on out. You know, I have to say this is really frustrating though. We're winning the race. We've got Verstappen over 2 seconds behind us now, but you know, he's going to win the championship regardless. It's not like I'm going to turn around and like hit him head on and like suicide bomb him or something. But you know, the most we can ask for is that we win the race, and we're doing it right now. But that is it's definitely a little bit frustrating. This has me thinking back to like Miami this year. Just a terrible race, no points. Thinking back on all the sprint races as well that we didn't score points on. I mean, that would have made such a difference at this point, but we just didn't have the car back then. Well, one more corner here on lap 28. We've increased the gap to Verstappen, so at this stage in the race, we are faster than the Red Bull, but unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. On to the final lap of the race now, and this is definitely a little bit disappointing. To be fair, I mean, I never expected we'd be fighting for the championship and have like a semi-legitimate shot at it. So it is pretty miraculous how far this car has come this season. Here we go, final corner of the race. Almost a 3-second gap to Max Verstappen behind us. We'll take first place in this race, but unfortunately not first in the championship. Definitely a bit of a bummer, but that was a fantastic race. Definitely had the pace around there. Really good lap in qualifying. Really good battles throughout the laps. We'll take first.
And so the celebrations begin, and well-earned they are indeed. It might have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level at the very top is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion.
Well, I would say too little too late, but I wouldn't I wouldn't include the too little. We did a great job on the back half of the season. It was just too late by the time we got the car. All right, well, we did all we could do. Definitely not complaining about a race win. That was a fantastic race. We've pretty much got second place in the driver standings completely on lock. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, big gap to Leclerc. And I know we've got fourth place in the constructors on lock too. So what I'm thinking is, as long as we can get a lot of parts developed for the car next year, we should be at least starting in the midfield, which means we'll be competing for race wins a lot more frequently than the beginning of this season. And we'll have Alonso as our teammate too. Dude, this is crazy. So we have 4 race wins in a row now after Qatar. In the last 11 races, we have 8 wins. Add the one from Saudi Arabia at the very beginning of the season. That's 9 race wins total. Verstappen has 8 total race wins. So, I mean, obviously he got way more podiums and better results at the beginning of the season, but we've got a really good shot for next year. Once we had a car that could fight at the front, we were really taking advantage of it. That is absolutely crazy. You know what I'm thinking? Since we've got second place on lock, we've got fourth in the constructors on lock, like if we win the next race or we DNF, it doesn't change any results of the season. So maybe we should do something a little weird for the last race. You know, do like a little challenge or something. Something kind of funky. I don't know. You guys will come up with a good idea. Maybe we drive as Pierce or something, or I don't know, do like a weird pit stop strat. I don't know, something weird. But leave a comment. I feel like we should do something special for the last race. It's been a pretty good series, so I don't know. I trust you guys. You'll come up with something.